So Elon Musk is still ruffling feathers over at Twitter ever since he's taken over, and all the regressive lefties on there, they're still crying into their soy milk lattes. And despite the fact that he sacked half the Twitter workers, 85% of the rest of them walked out when he said, you either do some work or you're fired. And so they chose to go home. And that should tell you absolutely everything about Twitter and the culture they cultivated there over the years. And I have no sympathy for these people. Good riddance. And it's about time karma came for them and cancelled them. They deserve it. They've done that for conservative social media users for years. And now the tide has turned and they're gone. Well, they say they're going to leave, but they're still on there. And Elon Musk has brought back some cancelled conservatives onto the Twitter platform. There's some guy called Andrew Tate who's deeply unpopular. And there's the unique, highly intelligent Dr. Jordan Peterson, a Canadian intellectual and clinical psychologist who I have to say, I believe woke me up intellectually, because listening to the guy is just outstanding. To me, the guy speaks sense. And he got cancelled, of course, because he refused to call transgender people by their preferred pronouns. He's against compelled speech, as am I. I will call you or anyone by any pronoun that you desire if you ask me nicely, but I don't believe I should be compelled within the law to do it. There should only be free speech. Speech should not be compelled. So anyway, a few of these people are back on Twitter, and of course we're still waiting for the biggie, President Donald J. Trump himself. But what Elon Musk has done is he's created a poll, and this poll still has a few hours left, and so far it's got like 12.5 million votes. And the majority want him back on, as you can see here. But I'm puzzled as to why Elon Musk would want a poll to decide whether Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, the God Emperor, peace be upon him, should be allowed back on Twitter when he's just let everyone else back on anyway. I mean, what's the point? That's the main guy. That's the one we want on Twitter. And that's the guy, he's the main man who pisses off and makes all the lefties cry. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that. The guy was hilarious, and he knew exactly what he was doing and what he was saying when he was on there before the fascists in Twitter took him off, cancelled him. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Elon Musk got rid of the majority of Twitter staff. He has closed down all but one of the Twitter buildings, and he's running it with a staff of like 50, and it's running fine. So he didn't need them. Twitter didn't need thousands and thousands of employees, because as he has shown, he can run it with just 50 people, which makes you wonder, what the hell were the thousands of Twitter staff doing in the first place? What were they doing there? Just sat there and cancelling people? I think that's about it, isn't it? That's the gist of it. They were there, sat there, these out of touch, unaccountably wealthy hipsters, well-paid left-wing idiots, having free lunches to the tune of something like £13 million a year. It was costing Twitter to feed them these free lunches. And what did they do? Sat there, smoked weed, and decided who was allowed to have an opinion or not. And you know, I'm going back on Twitter. I wouldn't care if Elon Musk destroyed it. I really wouldn't. If he just razed Twitter to the ground and it never existed again. Because I made a poll on my channel the other day and I asked you all if social media was psychologically damaging. And I believe it is. And it's psychologically damaging for everyone, not just content creators and people who innocently write tweets, because inevitably, just like death, taxes, and the rising and the setting of the sun, there will be trolls. People get trolled for everything. If you made videos about cats, you will get horribly trolled. If you made video about, I don't know, a penis pump or something, you will get trolled. And I have known content creators, especially on YouTube, whom I personally am in touch with. They got trolled and it got too much for them. And I've been trolled as well, but luckily I can deal with it, you know, water off a duck's back. But some of these trolls, one or two of them, they just go too far. And then they develop an unhealthy obsession. And they're here literally every day, every post, every comment. Because A, they have nothing better to do, they're unemployed. Or B, they have an unhealthy obsession. And so it must really affect these trolls who feel they have to come back here day after day to try and get the last word, to try and be the wittier one in an argument that's going nowhere, and try to encourage a debate with you where the result they want is that their opinions come out of your mouth, which is a very unhealthy and wrong way to debate. So it's got to affect them, isn't it, psychologically? I mean, with the anger and the frustration, I think it really gets to them personally. And these people need help desperately. So even though Elon Musk is doing good on Twitter, it's still a cesspool of hate. And that hateful bigotry comes mostly from the left. So there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments, and Roger Trout.